Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, high atop of the CuteCast Tower here on this bastard stepchild, Staten Island, New York. Yes, that's right. That's what we are to the rest of New York. But we're proud to be here in Staten Island. Welcome to another edition of the Madman Cafe right here live. That's some good music there. That is some really good music, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. So much going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. So much going on. It's election week. Tomorrow's election day. Get out to vote. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just adjust my mic here just a little bit here. Yes. Yes. And let me tell you, we could say here in New York, goodbye, Mayor Adams. Don't let the door hit you on the peripheral ass. You were not well liked. As much as your swagger, the swagger you had here wasn't helping you. You're probably going to end up in jail. Say that. Most people don't realize is that, they just dismiss some of the stuff, but some of it can come back on it. And there's a lot of other stuff that is still hanging out there, including what his police, police chief did, and some other people that that is part of his realm. I mean, someone was, I think, his one of his co-people, was reindicted just weeks ago, just as we got into the fall. But yet it is 8 p.m. on the East Coast. We are back to Eastern savings time. Looks like we haven't been able to get rid of the daylight savings. It's getting dark sooner than later. It's a bit of a chill in the wind. It's still warmer for this time of the year here on the NYC. Say what you will. I've heard. I've seen some of the Disney streamers. They say it's really cold down in Orlando, which their cold is our temperate, because there were like recordings down to about 48 degrees in Central Florida, which is interesting. That happens there. And well, once again, welcome aboard. Hopefully, we're going to have some guests. I did put some invitations out there. Hopefully, some people will show up on this edition. And there's a lot going on. Before they really, hopefully, they'll be showing up soon. Before we get into it, we had some breaking news. And one of it's really sad to a point. Let's see, bring it up here. Well, sad news from Hollywood movie stage screen. Diane Ladd. If you know Diane Ladd, she is the mother of Laura Dern. She passed away just recently, just in the last couple of hours or so. This just came out just recently. If you're not known for her, she's an Oscar-nominated woman. She was the original Flo in the Alice movie, which was Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which is a great. If you have not seen the original film, Diane Ladd has a wonderful performance in it. Do catch it. It's a fantastic. I mean, let me tell you, when it comes to Hollywood actors and actresses, Diane Ladd happens to be one of them that are the most underused actors or actresses. You don't see them getting pulled into a lot. They get some good movies, and that's what you see them in some good movies, some bad movies, a little mixture on that. But you don't I can put it, you don't have the Hollywood producers just stumbling over themselves to try to get her, which is a shame. I mean, she's a great, fantastic actress. Fantastic. And she has a good long as far as her accolades and all that, she's a lot there. And it's a shame to see her go. We've been losing a lot of great actors, actresses, musicians, artists, of as of late. I think we've gotten to the point in this time in history that we got that all that for someone like in my age group, we've had a lot of people that did a lot of great we were kids, and now they're the other, or as my wife would say, the other side of the rainbow. You know, and it's a shame. It's a shame on that and on there. Now the other thing that's breaking out there. Let me just flip away from this. Hang on. Remove. Yeah, the other half of this is some good news. And oops, wrong place. Where are we? Still getting used to this. There we go. Do I have the right one? Yes. Okay. Well, Nancy Pelosi looks like she is going to be retiring after this. As soon as she she's not going to run again on there, which is um, it's some yeah, yeah, bravo. Bravo. She is not. I mean, this woman's eight. What is she? 85? 85 years old. And it's. I mean, this. How many of these? And I say this one. If you listen to my Madman with the Show videos, and when I talk about censorship, and I talk about how uh, politicians in the U.S. that they have damaged our entertainment industry in the ways you cannot believe. These politicians were the ones back in the '90s sitting on subcommittee hearings, going, hey, I don't like the music that you're playing. Hey, I don't like the cartoon that you have on Saturday morning. Hey, I don't like that movie or video game that you're playing. This is the things we got to get rid of those. And it's the truth. These politicians that they're and now we have the SNAP situation where people that deserve that need the SNAP truly, not the knuckleheads that are on freaking TikTok and on YouTube and all the other social media saying, I'm just going to go out and steal. There are people out there that truly needs the SNAP program, and I'm glad that the um, churches and synagogues are still out there helping at least. I mean, right near the Cuticast Tower, we do have we're near a church, and the line Saturday. Oh man, I was I was hoping to get a camera down there, and I didn't get a chance to get someone down there. The line was incredibly long, longer than usual, and it amazes me, that people don't realize, there's a lot that goes into feeding people in America when it comes down to when they can't afford it. But the other half of it is the other half of it, and this is the thing that gets me. You got people out there, and like I said, these are the people that they're talking online, and they'll say to you, say, "Oh, we're going to have to go steal." Is it okay? You have the power to go steal, and you don't have the power to go to work. Let me tell you, my entire life until recently, till my injury and my illness, I was working. I started working. I paid for high school. I paid for the college, the little bit of college that I went to, and then trade school. Trade school. I paid my way to move to Florida. Lived in Florida on my own. Then moved back to Jersey, and then moved back to Manhattan, and then Staten Island. But throughout all that, I continued to work, and I struggled, and I tell you, I did truly struggle. You have no idea the times that I went through. And basically, you sit there and you say, well, yeah, you struggle, but did you truly, truly struggle? Now, before we move on and continue with this, I just want to welcome aboard those of you on Rumble. And also, if you haven't noticed yet and you're watching it on there, we're on X now. You can now watch us on X/Twitter on the Madman with the Show account, which we're checkmarked now. If you know our account very well, it's in the description below. Welcome aboard those the 4 people that are watching over there. Thank you. Really do appreciate that you're there watching on there. But getting back to what I was saying, you put to the perspective that you work hard, and then you have people out there that don't, that they expect to suckle on the government tit. Yeah, there I said it. Yes, the government tit. And I know people that have been doing it for years, and I've seen it. They're those who came into my family that they tried to marry into my family, and they were that way too. And basically, it's a shame when you see this. And then when you do truly need it, if you're a person that's worked like me, that truly needed, like, for example, SNAP. And when you go to get it, they give you next to nothing. I know some people that are like, married couple. And that's the thing. If you haven't realized this, if you're married, no kids, don't expect, and you're going for SNAP, don't expect a lot from them. Don't expect a lot from SNAP. Really, truly. I'm going to tell you that straight out. I've seen people get as low for 2 people, mind you, 2 people. And the thing about it is, most of these people make under $30,000 a year. Like between let's say 40,000, under 40,000 a year. SNAP benefits are like $25, $35. Meanwhile, they tell you, oh, you'll get $100, and you see all these people with these cards and all that. I mean, how much, lying do they do on these screenings? I've gone through the process, and let me tell you something. They need to streamline the process because it is the most idiotic way, the way they're doing it. And the thing about it is, they check on you every 6 months. And they keep asking you for the same information. They ask for an ID. They ask for a birth certificate. They ask for a marriage certificate. They ask for all the, I can understand with the bills and stuff like that. Sometimes the bills change, stuff like that. But your IDs don't change. It's still the same ID. I mean, if you want to ask for the same, say your driver's license or just a regular ID, you could do that. You could do that. But when you're asking for everything, I mean, the next thing is that, blood samples, to that point, and it's ridiculous. And they keep asking and they keep asking. I said, didn't I give it to you last time? I said, well, we need it again. Why? You keep asking me it. You have it on record. And you're only giving me freaking nothing. I dropped it after a time period. This was when both me and my wife were struggling before, we got into this place. We were struggling for a while, financially, which is okay. People struggle. It happens to be that, I was injured and, disabled. But, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. You would have to have like 10 kids before they give you anything. And I'm not kidding you. When I've gone to the supermarket myself, I've seen people pull up 2 carts of stuff. And I'm talking, it's all junk food. It's all junk food at all. I mean, what SNAP is, supposed to be, supplemental nutritional. That's in the first 2 words. The second word is nutritional. What's nutritional from freaking Pop Tarts and Hot Pockets. You tell me. Hey, PB, how you doing? Let me see. Let me bring up the chat here a second. There we go. Bring up the chat. Let's see what PB is saying here on there. Her net worth is $150 million, the greatest stock trader in the history of Congress. I'm in my mid 50s, and Pelosi was in politics before my parents met on there. And, it is insane on there. But before the insanity goes any further, and I have to say this, we have our first guest this evening. Yes, you know him, you love him. He loves to play those D&D games. He's practically taking over sci-fi for me. It's Death Angel Shadows. Hey.
Hey. Helps if I turn the damn thing on. What's going on, man?
No, nothing. It's insanity. I don't know. We had
I
some
need
good
my
news with some
snacks.
bad news.
I need my snacks and my sodies.
Oh my god! I mean, I don't know if you caught the beginning of it. We lost Diane
I didn't get the
Ladd.
very beginning. I just got the. I was like involved in some work stuff, so I'm like, oh, looked at the clock. It's like, it's quitting time already. It was quitting time 15 minutes ago. I better go check on him. See what kind of trouble he's getting into.
Well, no, we had some bad news. Diane Ladd passed away.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, the most underutilized actress of our time. I mean, a fantastic actress, and Hollywood never really truly used her to that point. And then, of course, we find out Pelosi is retiring.
Well, has it come official yet, or is the announcement next week?
Well, Tim Cass put it on his. It's already pretty much there. She ain't gonna. She's not going. She's 85 years old. She ain't gonna make. She ain't gonna make it.
That young?
Huh?
I thought she's that young. I thought she was 185.
I know. And
PB's, was it PB that said that? Absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm in my 50s too, man. And she has been a thorn in this country's ass my entire life.
Exactly. and the thing about it is, and I was saying this before you got here, a lot of times I've talked on my show, on my videos, and I had kept saying, these are the same politicians over and over again that are pushing the same policies, especially in the entertainment field. They try to ban video games. They try to ban certain types of music. They try to
ban D&D.
Yeah,
D&D, metal.
Exactly.
Yes.
Heavy metal.
Those are my jams too, man. Tabletop and heavy metal.
Yeah. Video games. You know what they did? They're the ones who got rid of Saturday morning cartoons.
Is that what happened?
That's part of the story. They passed a law back in the 90s that basically the networks would have to put more educational forward.
Yeah, I remember that. You saw this shit at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but they're pushing more forward into what they call the prime time Saturday morning. And
oh no, man! Once it's like 9 o'clock rolls around, you better be having some Scooby Doo and some Super Friends and.
But that's what killed it. It was Congress killed it.
I mean, the early shit was Bugs Bunny. That was what my dad. I'd wake up. I'd go up and see my dad when I was little. And my dad and mom still, mom's still asleep. Dad be laying in bed, had the TV on in the bedroom, and why they had a TV in their bedroom? Those lucky bastards. All I got was a black and white.
No, I woke up. I was getting what was it, Mr. Magoo, the ones where he was doing the fairy tale novels and stuff like that. He does Robin Hood, Thousand Arabian Nights, and all that. That was really good.
Yeah, you can do educational stuff, and you know what I think hurt.
What?
Stuff like, okay, what was that one, cat dog and other crap like that started just like, it's like, but how does it poop? I'm like, I must be too old for cartoons now. It
No
was
one's ever too old for cartoons.
well, the
Never.
funny
Bite your tongue.
the
That's why we
funny
have
thing is, cartoons were the first color movies.
No, actually, we had cartoons. Let me tell you something. Cartoons go back,
Oh
way
yeah,
back. The Japanese anime was they used to put it on paper film.
yeah. I've seen that. I saw that. Maybe you were
Yeah.
talking about it before. They
Mm,
had like basically they were film strips, but it was paper, and with
mm,
a candle or something like that, some sort of light behind it,
hmm Well,
lamp or
before we
something.
go any further, I'm going to bring to the stage the man, the myth, the legend, the man that
Oh,
gave me my career, Mr. Sci-Fi Snob himself. Good evening.
Good evening. You're very welcome.
did you cook? Did you cook dinner?
I did. I did.
Yeah, that's what you were saying last night. You had to cook dinner.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Mm. I haven't eaten today.
We dinner was a little bit early today. So.
Look at that. Look at that, my
Look at
man.
that.
He did that just for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. My
If you want to
my
believe that,
wife.
that's fine.
Be sure to like and subscribe and share and all that fun jazz.
Oh yeah,
Right on.
and we do have a T-shirt merch available now on shopcuticast.com. VPN 10 is the promo code. You get 10% off your purchase. We really do appreciate those who have done it, and please take that moment. Go check out. You might find something. The holiday. I can't say this. The holidays are just around the corner.
Shit.
Oh my God, we
I
are
guess it's
November
November.
3rd.
You can say that now.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. But while we have everybody here now,
What are we discussing? What are you guys talking about?
Well, we were just
Cartoon?
rambling just a bit because Pelosi's going to retire.
Oh, seriously? Finally?
Yeah, that's what I said. She's like, well, she's 85 years old. I said, she's only 85? Damn, I thought she was 185.
I just, sometimes it just amazes me. Like, would you go to an 85-year-old for anything?
What about Mr. Turtle?
The longest I've heard of, there are occasional, I've seen some lawyers that work in their 70s, right? But it's like, it's their own firm. I know a guy.
And they probably have people working for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a guy I knew. He was in his 70s.
Denny Crane.
And he said that, I went to him and I said, hey, I was going on a mission and I said, I need to update my will. And he's like, oh, sure, I'll do it for you. Right. And I'm like, well, I was hoping you'd, pick somebody from your firm and just pass it off. But he's like, no, I'll do it. I'm like, all right, sure. So I go to his office and, he's in his 70s and stuff. And, he's at his desk. There's all kinds of people working away and he just, he's at his desk and he probably had nothing to do. And he's like, sure, I'll do this guy's, his will for him, who cares? And those are the only guys I could think of working into their 70s. And I'm sure he just did it because it was his firm. And he just went into the office because he needed a place to go. And he'd hang out there. And, that's why I was so keen to do my will. It was like real work. And he had all these people working and stuff. And I'm like, why, 85, what the hell is she doing?
Well, like, you know what happens, when guys retire, that's kind of, that tends to happen to a lot of people, to men especially when they retire.
Well, they just die.
Yeah, because they have no purpose. Yeah, they, as long as they keep on working. Then you have my grandfather who was retired before he was my age. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. But served in World War II and retired, and and was him and Grandma were running around the country in their 50s, with the fifth wheel and just living the high life. Here I am. I won't be able to retire until I'm dead.
But Pelosi's Speaker of the House. She's like at one time she was number.
Yeah.
not anymore, but she was the third person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you after the president and vice president, is that who you want? Some 85-year-old who can barely, like, what the hell? Like, this is not a guy at his own law office, bending paper clips back and forth and just pretending to work. She actually has power.
Yeah.
Well, we've lost about 4 or 5 politicians just in the last year that in that age group that have been in office as long as Pelosi.
Well, we had one die.
No, I'm talking about these all died. These are all the ones that died in the last year.
Yeah, but we had ones die in office. They were
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
we've lost about a good chunk amount of them while in office.
One of them went missing, and they found her in a nursing home.
That was. I forgot about that one. Yeah, it's like she went missing.
What? And nobody noticed.
What was her? Where was her? Was it the state troop? Where was her state troopers?
State troopers.
Yeah, when they don't use Secret Service, if they're back home, they use the state troopers.
Oh, let's see. Well, nobody cared, I guess. I think she was from Texas.
That's why there's all those stories about the Clintons and the state troopers, and how half of them are dead now because they knew too much. Wink, wink.
Oh, look at that.
I just think it's just too. I mean, this is your government. I mean, these people have important places in it, and they are, at an age where most people that age are committed, are living in a nursing home, drooling, and they're running the government. It just seems, strange.
Then meanwhile, this is going on over here. Bring that up. We hit the record over here on voter turnout on the early voting over here since 2021. I think 2021 we had 160,000 people pre-voted before election day. Right now, currently we're about over 700,000.
Yeah.
And still nobody. No, there is no prediction. They talk about all these predictions. They say, "Well, Maldani will win. This Zohan, he's going to win." And the thing about it is, nobody's realizing the race is getting tight. Well, whether it's going to happen,
is very tight.
It's getting tighter.
It's getting tighter.
It's getting tighter by the hour.
Yeah.
And most people, and they're not really reporting it. I mean, you look to the point where. I think the last thing I was able to get. Let me stop this a second here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Where are we here?
I think the Democrats are terrified.
Oh well, no, they're the ones that are asking to push away. And some of them are like saying, hey, listen, this is the last one from Atlas. You had Zohan at 40%, Como at 34%, and Sliwa at 24%.
Where's that image? Did you do that image?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you show that already?
No, I'm just showing it right now.
Okay.
Back here's Jason. Jason.
Hey.
Sci-Fi for me. Welcome aboard.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Audio flutter in the background.
I have what?
Okay, it stopped.
Audio flutter? What is that?
I don't know. It sounded weird. Probably what you were hearing the other day.
No, everybody else was hearing an echo the other day. I don't know what's going on over here, but anyway.
But yeah,
so did you catch what we were talking about?
These are the numbers that are out, and this was a while ago. I mean, it's probably different now. But like I said, you can't trust a lot of these polls that come out constantly because you don't know who they're talking to.
Yeah,
they must be exit polls, right?
They're starting to do exit polls, and they're going up and down the lines, and there are a lot of people like whispering, "Yeah, I'm voting for Sliwa."
Cool.
So who are I mean, Mandani is the communist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cuomo is the Cuomo is the Democrat.
No, Indy.
Yeah.
Well, he's a Democrat running as an independent.
Right.
Right.
Because he lost
So
the
he's
primary,
he's
right?
the real Democrat. The other guy's the communist. And who is and Silwa? What is Silwa?
Sliwa is
Sliwa?
well known. He's very, very well known.
Yeah, he's during the time New York was really, really bad in crime. He created something called the Guardian Angels.
Oh, he's the Guardian Angels guy.
Yeah,
Guardian
that's
Angels
why he's
guy.
always got the red beret on.
Yeah.
And what is he running as?
Days. He's a Republican. He's a Republican.
He's running as a Republican candidate. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would be great to see him. I don't think he's going to win.
You know, I wonder how well he would do if Cuomo had dropped out.
Good question.
Well, they did the opposite, and the percentage had Cuomo above Maldani.
Aren't the two Democrats going to split the vote and then maybe
No,
allow the Republican to come up the Senate?
Not enough that
New York
wins.
New York, there's just too many Democrats.
Yeah, they've gerrymandered and packed things so much there.
Well, the thing about it is, though, this is New York City, so this is not even a state thing. This is so the gerrymandering wouldn't come into play here. It's just New York City.
Yeah, Jeanette asked me, "Do we have to go vote tomorrow?" I said, "I don't think so. Let me go look." And no, Knoxville's voting, and some other town I don't even know where it's at is like the only thing on the ballot in Tennessee tomorrow. So I'm like, no. I confirmed it, but
well, they supposedly the House Republicans are exploring ways to, if Maldani wins, to put up the 14th Amendment, which I don't foresee them getting anywhere with that. I mean, I don't know what it is with them using the 14th Amendment for everything.
What, they're going to take the vote away from women?
No, that's 19th.
That's 19th. There's a little part in the 14th that basically it's an insurrection clause. That if you had put in insurrection in the United States, which basically you look at his early part of his career, yeah, he kind of did some things that were like, that he was out there protesting heavily. He's been arrested,
They tried to use that against Trump.
No, not yeah, but with Trump, that's Trump wasn't out there protesting,
right?
This Zohan was.
Yeah, but they did try to. It's weak, I think.
No, the 14th. It's stupid that they have to use the 14th for this. And the thing about it is, even if this guy gets in, New York will survive this. Do you know why? We've already had a Democratic Socialist in office years ago.
Bloomberg or
nope, David Dinkins.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Well, and the other thing too, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, he was on. I don't know if he was on CNN or Fox or NBC. He was on one of the news programs. They were doing a panel, and he says, he says you got to give it to this guy. He's run a really good campaign. He's run a smart campaign because he's promised everything to everybody. It's all going to be free. He said, but as soon as he gets in the office, he's got to deal with the state legislature. And the state legislature is not going to let him do anything that he's been promising he's going to do. And so he goes and sits there and he whines and moans and bitches and plays victim that, oh, look, the state legislature won't let me do anything. And he gets off like that.
Well,
so he's not going to be able to do very much, at least according to O'Leary.
And he is going to have to deal with another Adams on this circuit, with Adrienne Adams of the city council. No relation. And she don't like him either.
Yeah.
And of course, Kathy Hochul, even though Kathy Hochul sort of endorsed him, but she ain't going to back him on his policies at all.
Oh, she can't. That would be political suicide for her.
Yeah. Even though that what's her name that's running now? That's going to be running for governor in New York. I'm trying to remember. But they took an early poll, and she blows away Kathy Hochul.
You talking about the Republican woman?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name. They were talking about her this morning. They said she'll blow away freaking on there. But again, I don't trust the polls. But then again, this is Kathy Hochul.
What about New Jersey? What do you think is going to happen in over there?
Jersey, I think they're going to end up getting the protection that they need from the Republican Party.
You think you think what's his name will win?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he has a good chance.
I don't know his name.
Yeah. I mean, considering that Hollywood is moving east right now, and I got a video tomorrow. Paramount just made a deal with 1888 Studios to take up a crap load of real estate inside their studios, and they're going to be doing production. So you got Paramount, you got Netflix, Lionsgate, and probably a couple others that are going to be coming into New Jersey, and then you have the ones that are going into Manhattan, into Brooklyn.
I love how some of these headlines. Trump backs Cuomo, threatens to cut funds for New York City if that's not exactly what he said. He's like, if given the choice between a communist and a bad Democrat, you got to go with the bad Democrat. You know?
But do you know
that's what he said. That doesn't mean that's not exactly a glowing endorsement.
But you know whose true fault this is? You know who's the real fault that we're at this level with Zohan and all that? That it should have been, and same thing with Kathy Hochul. It's the voters that left New York.
Mm-hmm.
If you calculate the amount of people that left New York during COVID and all that, everything above, that would have been the voters that would have completely turned New York completely red. Because if you look at the upper states, central New York, upper New York regions, they're red. The only ones that are still blue is the lower regions, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, but not Staten Island. Staten Island is practically, except for like a small quarter, is red.
Yeah, well, it might not.
Well, that's how a lot of these red states are. I mean, if you take California, for example, and if you eliminate Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, Sacramento, the metropolitan areas, the entire rest of the state is red.
Well, San Diego used to be pretty conservative.
Well, yeah, but nowadays, I mean, not so much. But Texas is the same way. Houston, Austin, Dallas are the blue enclaves. Everything else is red, and you find that in a lot of these places that are controlled by Democrats. It has a lot to do with the fact that the urban core cities are Democrat strongholds.
Yeah.
And everywhere else, they're conservative Republican.
Well, look at Illinois. I mean, if you take Chicago out, it's a red state.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, Tennessee has still got more people not in cities than in cities, but Nashville's mayor is a Democrat. Knoxville's mayor is a Democrat. We know Memphis is a Democrat. But the governor, I mean, it's just, it's always the urban centers that are always, and I don't understand.
It's the
why.
same thing in Canada.
Toronto,
the cities vote
and
left, and the country votes right.
and
even in Alberta, Edmonton isn't called Redmonton for nothing. In Canada, it's reversed. Blue is conservative and red is
Well, and it used to be that way here back in the 80s. If you go back and look at political coverage in the 80s when Reagan was in office, it was the other way around. Blue was for the Republicans and red was for the Democrats. I can't remember exactly when it flipped, but they switched it because red for Democrats was too easy for them to associate with communism, and so the media flipped it.
It's it's kind of interesting because you guys do it that way, because in everywhere else, the conservative parties usually have blue colors. The UK everywhere. They tend.
Well, there's but what about the phrase "blue dog Democrat"?
Well, that
because
comes after the split, after they flipped it. I don't know exactly when that phrase started, but
blue dog Democrats are the ones leaning to the right. Correct?
Well, they're the more conservative ones, yes.
Yeah. So that's why they're blue dog Democrats, towards the blue, before the switch, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I'd have to
PB
go back and
puts
look at
best.
the etymology of it, but that sounds
Yeah.
right.
PB puts it best on there. 4 of the 5 boroughs in New York City vote blue. Queens goes back and forth, red and blue last few elections. Yeah, the one that doesn't go blue is Staten Island. Staten Island is, they're red blooded here, except for just a corner of the North Shore, and it's a very small corner of the North Shore.
What I can't understand is how they've managed to keep all these senators and just keep on voting against.
Well,
They're trying to blame. Oh well, the House hasn't bothered to vote on anything. They've been on vacation for 5 weeks. No, they already passed their bill. It's up to
Yeah.
the Senate.
I love it today that these judges are trying to tell Trump, well, you got to reactivate SNAP. With what? We don't have any cash. We have no consistency plan that basically will be able to fund this. The only way it would be able to be funded is that the Congress would have to put in a CS bill in play in order for the money to come back, flowing back in again.
Well, there's an emergency fund that everybody keeps talking about that's not purposed for that kind of thing.
For the natural disaster.
Yeah, and they're just like, well, just use that money, and legally they can't, even if they wanted to. So
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It has to be a declared natural disaster for them to release funds for that. Yep.
In fact, speaking of the SNAP ones, my wife saw a freaking. They were a couple people were coming out of Stop and Shop here on Forest Avenue, and they had like bags of stuff, and they're running down the streets, and then here comes the cops to the point on there.
Well, they'll just slap them on the wrist and let them go.
Oh, the 121 is no joke over here. Ever since the 121 was built, because the 121 is the newest precinct on Staten Island. We had the 120 and the 122, and basically they needed something for in between, so they built the 121, and the 121 you're getting arrested. You're going in.
Yeah. But it's not the cops' fault. I'm not blaming the cops.
No. It's not. You have to understand.
It's the DA. It's the DAs that won't prosecute them.
That too, but also they've shoved, like out by me, they've shoved some of the worst cops out to me. All the problematic cops they've shoved into the 120. So even though we do have good cops on Staten Island,
yeah,
we got good teams on there, but a lot of the problematic ones that should be gone, they're thrown on Staten Island.
Yeah.
I mean, the DA out here, go either way. In most cases, he does prosecute in the most cases. The Queens DA, same thing either way. Bronx and Manhattan are the situations, and the Bronx, yeah, same thing with them, with their district attorney. It gets to that point.
Yeah.
But also, another thing that got released, I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? James O'Keefe just put out another video that he just caught an NGO here in New York showing illegals how to vote for Maldami. So we got that. And this is a church. And that is illegal. To that point, not the voting itself, for them to try to do that, they could lose all their tax exemptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, they were out there today like crazy all in all the boroughs. I mean, there's something tonight. I think what was in Queens for Sliwa. Maldami's in Manhattan, and Cuomo's also in Queens tonight.
Strongholds.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about it is, if any of the candidates spend any time as Staten Island and Queens, why? Well, number one, Staten Island's the bastard stepchild of the entire New York City. The other half is Queens because of AOC. The parts of Queens that AOC was in charge of has been neglected with the prostitution, crime, and all that's been going on there. Nothing's been done. Every once in a while, the media and the cops show up to clean up, but the cops are still there, and the prostitutes, the crime, it's still there as well.
Well, I mean, those are her people.
Now,
Right.
she doesn't show up. That's the thing.
I know.
You see her in Washington. Most politicians,
The ones who support her, that's.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, her district is so easy to win. Most people don't vote in her district.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Was it the Hasidic Jews that don't normally go out and vote?
Oh, they're busting them in.
Yeah, hopefully they'll.
It's Cuomo that's busting them in.
Because they yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, Alvin Bragg is Manhattan DA. Melina Katz is Queens DA. She's SOPU work as well. No cash bail, etc.
Yeah.
That's the major problem. They got to get rid of the no cash bail.
Oh yeah.
That is the most ridiculous thing they ever came up with. I mean, guys have been brought in, put back out, and next thing you know, they end up, the occasions that somebody's gotten killed.
I saw somebody 116 times. They had 116 arrests.
Yep.
How do you get 116 arrests in your life?
Very
How
easily.
Does that happen?
As of recent, very easily.
That's just half a year. It's twice. It's twice a week.
Yeah, you're getting arrested twice a week. Yeah, but you shouldn't be able to get arrested twice a week. You shouldn't be out of jail.
I can do what I want. If I want to get arrested twice a week, I will. You don't tell me what to do, Jeff.
You go do that, snob.
You don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on away from this. Let that simmer till tomorrow. See what happens on that.
Did you tell Jason? Did you tell Jason?
Main voting's tomorrow, right? You'll know tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the vote.
Yeah, tomorrow's it.
Yeah. I do want to bring up because Snob just came in, and you too, Jason. That Diane Ladd passed away.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we have a cause of death yet?
Let me double check on that. Let me refresh.
She had some sort of disease, right? That was caused by a pesticide, I think.
Oh, was she? I haven't.
Some sort of fibrosis or something like that was brought on supposedly from pesticides that were commercial pesticides that were used near her house.
Oh, okay.
No, it looks like the article that I have up. No, it doesn't.
We'll probably find out here in the next few days.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore back when I was a kid. That was such a great movie. Which eventually that turned into the TV series Alice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Alice lasted until 85.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't either.
Right? I always thought of it as a 70s show.
Well, right. Also, and it had a spin-off too. So.
It was it's centered on Flo, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, what is it? In fact, what is it? Tubi TV has it right now.
Yeah. Polly Holiday passed away 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mel? Was that
Mel? No, she was Flo. She played Flo.
Flo. Mel died too.
Vic Tayback. Vic Tayback died well before that. He was in Star Trek.
Vic Tayback did a lot.
Yeah, he was in the Chicago Mobs episode, Return of the Archons.
I love the Return of the Archons. That was a good episode. That was a really good episode.
He played Krakow.
Yes, it's Krakow.
Jojo Krakow.
Where is that article?
Well, you know whose birthday is today, by the way?
Not mine.
Not mine.
My dad's was the other day, but he's gone.
No, whose birthday is it?
Godzilla.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Big G.
We've been having some speculation here as to the meaning of the new G in the logo.
They say it was some other creature that's coming onto there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, James and I were talking about it and trying to figure this out, and I think he's got it's not Biolante, it's I can't remember what he said now.
Not the smog monster. I know they were talking about the smog monsters 7 months ago.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. If you look at the shape of the serif coming off the front of the G, yeah, where it comes back in and does the horizontal.
Right.
The serif coming forward of that is the head of whatever creature. Because if you go back and look at Godzilla -1, you can see Godzilla's head in that silhouette. And so now they're looking at this one and saying, "Hey, this looks different." And that one, that now they're looking at that, trying to figure out which kaiju it is.
Mm. I was hoping it'd be the smog monster.
It might be.
You know, I'm
Because
hoping.
I think the director had been saying that was one that he wanted to use at some point, right?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause underutilized. It's only been in the Godzilla movies only twice.
Yeah.
You know, the original movie itself and Final Wars. In Final Wars, it was only there for about 30 seconds. Got pinned across with one of the insects. Godzilla had thrown it right out of the water. If you ever seen Final Wars, that's a funny. That's
Have
just
we
one
come full circle? Because apparently there's another Godzilla movie that's supposed to be coming out in 27.
from
Yeah.
Japan or from Lionsgate?
I don't know who it's from, but it's Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's legendary. That's
legendary.
the other track of Godzilla movies. That's the MonsterVerse, the MonsterVerse movies from Universal and Legendary. That I think it's Universal. I don't know who's distributing those now. But Legendary is the production company on those.
So this is Godzilla -0.
Godzilla
Minus
-0 is the sequel to Godzilla -1, which Toho made for $10 million.
And now that they have J Kids as their U.S. distributor, this is going to get a wide distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope it's good.
You know, because
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah,
We need a good movie.
J Kids was the big thing for them.
Yeah.
You know? Where's this thing at?
But I just got Shin Godzilla and -1 on 4K.
I had a copy of the original Godzilla. I had a Criterion, I think it was, of the 1954, and I had both versions. I had the original 54 version, and I had the version with Raymond Burr, and it disappeared out of the house.
Is that the box set or
box set? Yeah, the original black and white box set.
The big book?
Yeah. No, the box set, and it vanished, and I don't know who got it.
Because there's a book one which has every from that era, every movie of that era, including King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, I think we got James that for his birthday, but yeah, this one was the original 1954 Toho production and the American insert production, the Raymond Burr stuff. So,
I mean that is just. Whew. You know, the original movie itself. I mean, I have it. I have both versions. My wife gave me the Criterion book set, which was like basically all the movies came inside of a book with all these drawings and everything like that from Godzilla, which was really, really nice on there. But Criterion didn't do a good job with the transfer. I don't know if they used the original print.
I don't know.
Yeah,
this was so long ago. This one, who knows.
No, this one came out 2 years ago, I think it was.
Okay, well, that's a different one than what I have.
Yeah, this one came out 2 years ago. This was a remaster on all of them. It wasn't a 4K remaster. It was more like a 1080p remaster. And basically, it wasn't a great job. They could have gone back and touched it up a little bit more on there, especially a lot of the latter films itself, which the latter films had a lot of technical problems, as far as coloring and all that. You know, especially like Godzilla versus Megalon, which had some technical issues. on the the couple of scratches on the film, and the scratches are still there in the new print. It's go figure. But no, I was looking at Shin the other night. They did a great job on that. Shin came out really really good.
No.
The minus it was excellent.
Yeah, that was. I'm not a big fan of Godzilla movies, and somebody forced me. They said, "Hey, you got to watch this movie," and I'm like, "Wow, it's like a real movie. Like it's not.
Mhm.
It's not the Transformers style Godzilla movie where it's all
No Michael Bay explosions and stuff
yeah,
all the time.
it's a good movie that a good science fiction movie that looks at and gets deep into the Japanese culture, war and post-war culture. It touches on those social aspects, which is not something we see a lot here in the West. So that's why I love that movie.
Well, Shin is also like underrated because people were like, "Well, look what they did with Godzilla. How he looks and so with that." Yeah, but you don't understand. There are two levels of the way to understand this movie. One was about how the government was handling it, mishandling the whole situation.
Yeah.
Okay. The other half is this Godzilla was mutating by the hour. It kept mutating. So it started out in the water, whatever it was, because they didn't show you what was in the water. All you saw was the tail, and then you started like running around the ground, low with a weird face. But then it started to get get up on its two legs, keep going. Yeah, there it is. Jeff Angel's got it.
Now that's the new one.
Full screen it.
I mean, like Godzilla doesn't matter. I mean, it's just it's a monster that's going to go around destroying everything, right? Like that's.
What were you talking about the font?
Okay,
to me,
so hang on. If you look at so.
Can you pull out the chat?
Hide the chat for a second.
Just for a second.
So this is not Godzilla -1 logo. This is the Godzilla -0 logo.
Oops.
Hang on a second here. Let me.
Yeah, there you go.
Godzilla -0. Okay.
But it's the same.
No, it's not.
No, it's the same video. Whatever. So. Okay. This part did not change.
Yes, it did. The G changed. So here, I'm gonna show you. Where can I do this? Okay. So what I've got here. So this is Godzilla -1. And if you look here, there's Godzilla's head. Okay.
His head? Right.
That's Godzilla's head. He's yelling, there's Godzilla. Rook, Godzilla. Now, this
I'll buy that.
Is -0.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different head shape for whatever kaiju is next.
I get that. Yeah.
And you're suggesting that's not Godzilla mutated. That is.
That's a
whole different creature.
That's a different creature. It's a different kaiju. And it could be Biollante. It could be maybe Mothra. I don't know. I mean,
Ghidorah would be.
I don't recognize the shape. James is the more. He's the stronger Godzilla fan than what I've got. But
foes. What would you call them?
It doesn't look like Gigan.
No. It might be Hedorah.
It could be also
Mothra
and Anguirus. It does have a bit with the ears tucked back.
Hedorah.
Hedorah is the fog monster. but it's like the G part at the back end of the G looks like Anguirus with the ears back flopped back.
Let's see if there's any side profiles.
The
Because
bottom would be
because from a technical
that's
point of view, from Godzilla's history, the first monster that it fought against was Anguirus.
Well, the eyes would certainly kind of.
Yeah, that was Godzilla Strikes Back, or whatever the second one was.
Let's see.
that could the bottom part be sort of like a bearded dragon type of deal?
Now,
Well-
I would only look at the serif part of it, because really the rest of the G, I mean, kind of looks enough the same that I think we're just looking at this part right here, and it those could maybe those are wings. I don't know. I'm thinking Mothra. But
You're thinking Mothra?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't Mothra's the obvious, like, the Mothra's the obvious second Godzilla, second monster to Godzilla has to fight? Isn't that the most likely from a historical perspective?
I think that one's the most well known out of all of them.
To answer PB in there, PB Swamp Monster Hedorah had three versions of itself. There were 3 versions of Hedorah.
No.
But yeah, that's the -0 version of the G.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I want to see this.
I haven't seen -1 yet.
What?
I know.
You have not seen -1? It is an excellent film.
I'm
it's
kind of like Snob. You know, I'm like, you know.
Yeah, but they got me to see it, man.
I'll have to watch it because you guys are telling me to watch it.
Yeah, it's not.
Go ahead.
It's not a Godzilla movie like I'm used to, like, which is why I don't watch them, because it's just silly monster movie stuff, right? Like, oh yeah, you know, that's why I don't really watch them.
It's a reinterpretation of 1954.
It's a real movie.
Yeah,
it's not, like I said, it's not a Michael Bayification of Godzilla, which is what I view the other ones as.
But if you look at the 1954, the original one, it wasn't, cheesy, campy, any of that either. It was a straight up, not really a horror flick, but it was a monster movie that was a very strong allegory against nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And it was groundbreaking at the time because of how they did a lot of the effects. You didn't see the man in the rubber suit so much.
What about that one?
It's kind of.
What is that one?
No, that is what the hell is it called? That's Mosquito. That's the reinterpretation of the Mosquito one.
The head, yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
It looks a little similar.
No, it's different. It's if you look for the Heisei era, it looks more like a mantis. It looks more like a mantis creature.
Yeah, I don't know. James was thinking it might be Hedorah.
I would love to see this Hedorah.
I think probably whatever creature it is, it's going to be limited to the Showa era. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I say it might be Anguillus. Because Anguillus is technically the first of the Showa era.
Okay, what about, I don't even know how to pronounce this.
No,
Gigan.
that's not it.
No way it's going to be Gigan.
That's not Gigan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Gigan. That's Gigan level 1.
That was Gigan, yeah. But you say definitely not him. Okay.
No.
I'm a layman on this stuff, man.
No, Gigan. They've used Gigan so much. Even the fan service movies that people have made online, they keep using Gigan.
Batra?
Batra, I can't see. No, Batra is Mothra's cousin.
Okay, I don't. We're going back to an earlier story here. I don't know if you guys saw this. Mindy just shared this with me.
Okay.
So here's the headline: Texas governor warns any New Yorkers trying to flee south after Mamdani's win will be slapped with 100% tariff.
Jesus.
Oh. Texas Governor Greg Abbott promised to place a 100% tariff on any New Yorker who tries to flee the Big Apple should socialist Zoran Mamdani win the mayor's race Tuesday.
You can't do that, though. Is it
Yeah.
April 1st?
No. Let's see. How could he do it? It says here,
have you not seen the laws?
it's unclear if there's a legal avenue for Texas to treat people like imported goods and place an extra tax on them. While many states currently have an exit tax for leaving, they do not currently have any sort of a moving tax for those arriving.
I would never pay it. I would never pay an exit tax. I would be like, screw you.
The thing is that they can do this because they've thrown some laws out there that's still running through the Supreme Court. I mean, hell, anime and manga and certain cartoons are illegal in the state of Texas.
Well, I think it's.
I think there's an interpretation factor involved in that has everybody getting a little bit more hyperbolic than the law actually says.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, it's there. The law is there, and some people have been. There was a couple of stores that started pulling stuff. They started pulling Dragon Ball off their shelves.
Yeah, but that's a knee-jerk reaction.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is.
Oh yeah,
Dragon
no,
Ball
of course
not.
Of course, but you don't know what some of the, considering what's going on overseas, the whole situation, you really can't know what's
and
they're going to do.
To be fair, that's the type of shit that I think Jason has said. We don't want that overcorrection.
No.
We just want to go back to normal. I don't want the friggin' satanic panic back.
No, I don't want the freaking what was it, the arrests of the 1960s and 70s, and the George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, all that, those people getting
Jim Morrison. Of course, Jim Morrison kind of deserved it, though, if you study that. The things Jim Morrison did in Miami, he kind of deserved to get arrested. Unfortunately, if they had held him in custody, he probably wouldn't be dead.
You had situations where people were arrested in actual states, because they had the
I
laws
remember
that
Two
said,
Life Crew and all that stuff going on too. That happened in my.
Technically, it's still Two Life Crew. It's still illegal in Florida, but nobody enforces it.
They just weren't allowed to perform in Miami.
Mm-hmm. But meanwhile,
Ozzy pissed on a post office once. To be totally honest, I went around the corner of 1-2 once because I was in the middle of nowhere and that was the only building. It was like somewhere in New Mexico or Arizona or something. I don't even remember what state it was, but I wasn't trying. I was just trying to not expose myself, and I had to stop and go really bad.
And of course, we have this Trump hanging out with the new PM from Japan.
Yeah, man, I tell you, that's gonna be
who happens to be a metalhead.
That's gonna be so much fun to watch.
I would love to meet her.
Yeah, she loves metal, and she's a bike enthusiast.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. She's a biker babe too, and she's a metalhead. Hell yeah!
Yeah, she's got that look. If you look at the older pictures of her, she's got that look of the good-looking girls in the Godzilla movies and stuff like that. She's got that look.
Because usually the bike,
Japanese women from that era.
The biker babes are the ones riding on the back, so it's usually the. But I got one of my coworkers is a biker chick. She's awesome. So, unfortunately, she lives up in Michigan where they have all those problems going on.
Then we got this official news, which kept getting changed by China. Demon Slayer finally getting its Chinese release. Mm-hmm. Even the commercial's already out for it. So we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see if it hits the $1 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's $1 billion bound.
And meanwhile, we got what is it? Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie coming out in a couple of weeks. That's the last for this year. Because you have Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen all back to back. And I mean, Chainsaw Man has already made its budget, $4 million. It cost to make Chainsaw Man, and it's already about 130 worldwide.
Wow. Man. That's just crazy.
You know, I mean,
see, it can be done. Just make something people want to watch. And
right.
And even if it's not my style,
that's too hard. That's too hard for them to do.
Right? They want to push crap, and they say, "Oh, you're just an istophobe, or this or that, yeah, blah blah blah." You know, it's like no.
And
give me something that's good, and I'll watch it. You know. Hell, now I want to see the
and
damn
Sony
movie.
already announced.
And I'm not even an anime guy, you know. And I'm like, oh yeah. I saw the preview at one of the when I went and saw Superman. It was on. They showed the preview for it on one of them. I think it was at the AMC. No, it was at the Regal Cinemas. Is the one where they showed it at. So I'm like, oh, that looks like that actually might be good. You know, my kid's into anime. You know, that's his thing. So.
And Sony says they're not taking it out of the theaters this year or next year. It will not be on Crunchyroll next year, the entire 2026.
That's good.
On there, I mean, they haven't mentioned if it's going Blu-ray as of yet. There's been no on there. Streaming, they said they're going to pull back streaming on it.
They're going to milk it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to milk it for what it is.
If it's bringing people into theaters, man, more power to them.
Well, and that's how everything used to be. You'd be in the theaters as long as you're selling tickets, and then you'd be gone, and then do the second run movie theater houses, for the dollar theater, and then you'd do prime cable, subscription cable like HBO, Showtime, Cinemax. And then you do basic cable like TNT and TPS, and then you do network television, the ABC Sunday Night at the Movies, and then home video. And this whole streaming crap takes out 5 out of 7 revenue streams for these people, and I still cannot fathom how in the world they thought they were going to make money doing this.
They got the same mentality that Hasbro executives have. The future's digital. Everything's digital.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm overly connected as it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but you got physical media coming back. You got vinyl albums are back. Cassettes are back. They're slowly bringing back DVDs, VHSs are there. Books are coming back. I mean, Barnes and Noble are opening up more stores. We just got a store in Brooklyn dedicated 100% horror called the Twisted Spine.
Ooh, nice. Well,
the whole bookstore with just horror.
It's funny. There was a thread on Twitter earlier today that I responded to. They were talking about the aesthetic of movies in the 80s, science fiction movies in the 80s, like Aliens, and all of these, Blade Runner, all these movies that had all of the tchotchkes decorating all of their computer consoles, right? All these buttons and switches and screens and all this other stuff. And somebody called it what was it? Let me look. Cassette aesthetic. Hold on, because it perfectly encapsulates that particular era. Cassette futurism is what this guy called it. And they were talking about how all of these movies in the 80s predicted this future aesthetic for all of this technology that we don't have now, because everything's touchscreens, right? Everything's like iPads and interactive, swipe and this and touch this and whatever, and all of the buttons are gone. We look at all of our laptops, right? All the ports are missing. There aren't any video ports, there aren't any USB ports or HDMI ports or any of that stuff. It's all gone. And people are like, well, in some other timeline, the future tech looks like this. And I thought, you have now a reversion back to like what you're talking about. Cassettes are coming back, vinyl's coming back, VHS and DVDs coming back. People are reading books. I would not be surprised if in the next 5 years CRT screens come back. Just because of the
nostalgia.
The nostalgia aesthetic of it. And
I
I
don't-
can
I
see
don't
if you
think
go
so.
into you go into the era of Blade Runner and Aliens, I don't see why you wouldn't have technology that does that. I mean, somebody pointed out in that discussion thread, even now, places like NASA, SpaceX, you have some touchscreen stuff, but in aviation and in space flight, you still have buttons and switches because you got to be able to feel the position of the button to know that it's in the right place. And you can't do that with a touch screen. So I think that the nostalgia factor is one thing, but the practicality of it, I think, also factors into it. And I think we're going to get some of this old technology coming back, especially as the younger generation grows up and finally realizes that social media and all of this digital crap is not worth a darn.
I would disagree. I think it's the difference between digital and analog, and there'll always be a place for analog because of the touch and the feel that you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm saying that the analog is going to have a bigger place as we get further out from AI and what digital looks like now.
I think you'll see maybe bigger than now, but not as big as it was before. It'll be a hybrid of that. And I disagree that, I don't think books ever went away, but I don't think, vinyl cassettes, those things are only coming back as niche nostalgia collector's item things. Like people collect old telephones or typewriters or something like that, right? And that's the same with vinyl. There'll always be somebody who's collecting it, but it's not going to come back. It'll be a cool thing that, hey, look at this. It won't.
Well, with all the Barnes and Nobles that shut down, now they're turning around and rebuilding them differently now. That they're coming back. They're designing them according to geographic.
They're basically putting
what's popular in that
they're basically
neighborhood.
putting the local managers in charge of saying, this is your local bookstore now, essentially.
Yeah.
So they're not looking on a nationwide market trend or anything like that. They're customizing, I guess you could say. They're tailoring the product for that particular area, which I think is a brilliant way to do it.
Wasn't there a scandal with the New York Times bestseller list?
Oh,
where there was a bunch of AI generated titles that were on.
Well, there was that, but there's also been several instances, and I want to say that some of this maybe came out in a lawsuit or something. No, Random House. Okay, so it was a court case. They were deciding whether or not to allow Random House to purchase another imprint, I think is what it was. And somewhere in that discussion, it became known that a lot of the books on the bestseller list, a lot of the books on the New York Times bestseller list, had only sold somewhere between 12 and 30 copies. So it wasn't really a bestseller based on sales. It was a bestseller because the New York Times said it was. And that's the mask coming off of that. And of course, Larry Correia was just like, see, I told you. Larry's been saying that the New York Times bestseller list has been rigged. A scam for years.
Yeah.
It's not so much that it's rigged, but it's another marketing thing. It's another advertising thing. It has no no
play?
real meaning, no real value outside of we're gonna present these books as more popular than any other books because we say so.
Isn't that payola, basically?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what they
Yeah.
tried to do in the 50s, right, with music.
I don't know that they're paying for the position on the New York Times bestseller list. I don't know. I don't know what the criteria was when that came out, but yeah,
Depends on what you consider payment, you
it
know.
was like with Gamergate.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and yeah, but in that case, they were sleeping with.
Some of them were, but some of them had invested in the Kickstarters, for example, the crowdfunding, and didn't disclose that. So it wasn't always the sexual relationships. In some cases, it was a financial one.
Yeah.
All you got to do is with the bookstores. You come to New York, you hit the Strand bookstore. Well, you used to hit the Shakespeare bookstore because the Shakespeare bookstore went out of business now, got absorbed by Strand. But you went to all these little bookstores throughout the city. You see what the customers are buying, and it's nothing than what the what's on the front page of the New York Times.
Yeah, it's just a marketing ploy. Oh, look, New York Times bestseller.
It's you only need to sell five.
Not everybody was
5,000
buying Tom Clancy's novel
to get on the New York Times bestsellers list, right? Like that's nothing.
That's what it costs.
No, 5,000 books you have to sell to be a New York Times bestseller.
Oh, okay.
Like officially, like it's just 5,000. That's
That's 5,000. That's like that's an hour at Strand.
That's nothing, man.
Strand is like what if you don't know Strand in New York City, Strand is a great bookstore. They've been having their troubles, financially and all that, but they're still here. And what's great about them is that they got everything, and also outside the store they have like shelving put up with all these books that are just like nickel and dime, dollar. They cost next to nothing, and people buy them up. And it's not like El Cheapo books or something like that, or stuff that's like some of them are out of print or something like that. But there's some good books, and people will stand online to get them.
I would.
Inside the store, they got a great collection.
Bulk purchases. That's one of the ways they're manipulating it. Because yes, you're right. 5,000, although 10,000 is better, so people are buying 10,000 books. Or if you're a politician and had a autobiography or a memoirs ghostwritten, because most of them couldn't write to save their soul. Then
good writing is not going to save their souls.
Well, that's true, but then somebody like China or somebody someplace in Europe or who knows where.
Yeah, you got to say it right. China.
And then you have all these novels that are getting reinterpretations on there because they made TV series out of them, like specifically Stephen King. So they had the It series that's in the second chapter right now on HBO. You can guarantee that's going to be a book by the time.
Oh, Welcome to Derry. Welcome to Derry,
which it's been okay. A little gruesome for HBO. It's almost that Terrifier level.
I saw a thing earlier. Let's see if I can find it real quick. It was a statistic that horror books are selling really, really, really well. Let me see if I can find it here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, why do you think we have a bookstore in Brooklyn?
I wonder why that would be.
My wife is dying to go because it's like it's in Williamsburg, and it's a beautiful little shop. It's basically I think what book was it? Was glowing? Was it The Shining? They got like was it the Shining book, and it glows in the dark.
Fine. Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is bookseller.com. Let me share this screen with y'all here. All right, horror sales climbing toward a record year. This is Nielsen IQ book data. horror subcategory recorded its best year to date. Now, this is in the UK, but I think it would apply in the United States as well. So,
So
2024.
why would that be?
I don't know. Nielsen.
horror,
Well, I mean, horror in the movies has been doing pretty well too.
It's true.
And
Well, I
I
mean,
think
you know,
that could be reflective of the times that we're in, because certain genres swing in popularity depending on what's happening in the real world. So there could be a correlation there. So, but yeah,
And there's been a heavy remastering of the older classics.
right.
Dawn of the Dead,
Yep.
Day of the Dead.
So 2024 to
you know.
2025 so far, rise of 22.2%. Let's see. Some of that that rise in value is due to an increase in the average selling price of the category. So there's that. Volume figures reveal some increase in popularity. 2024's total figure of 836,199 was its biggest volume performance since 2009. So in 15 years, the best performance. So says here, if the rate continues, the category will fall just short of 900,000 units in 2025. That's in the UK again, but I think that there might be some correlation over here. But here's the list. Stephen King, Never Flinch is the first one. The Shining at number 4. Dracula at number 6. Look at that. The Woman in Black, Frankenstein, It, Pet Cemetery. All of these are old. Here's Graveyard Shift, The Stand, Interview with the Vampire, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Exorcist.
wow.
All of these are selling again. Look at that. Here's another Dracula, Hell House, Blackwater, The Green Mile, The Night House, The Running Man.
Well,
The Running Man's going to be
because
because of money. Yeah, because of maybe World War Z.
That's not new. I mean, that's not old.
Well, no, not well.
World War Z's been around.
Yeah, but a lot of these are books that have been published for years.
Yeah,
I mean, not necessarily classics.
I mean, World War Z came out around 2000 or something like that.
Yeah, but I was saying is a lot of these. There's The Mist, The Witching Hour. That's interesting. That I mean, that a lot of those stories have been around for a long time.
How are the I wonder how the mystery books and like Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. I've been thinking about getting a set of the Sherlock Holmes, and I mean, what did I pick up? I picked up Lovecraft.
Yeah,
the complete work.
Yeah, you got the same book.
Yeah, so
I have a good collection. I got a good collection of Lovecraft.
And they have a new. Of course, and I got that at the same time. I got the. Or right around the same time, like different vendor. One I got off of Amazon, the other one I got at a local bookstore.
I mean, you have what is it? You got the Frankenstein coming out on Netflix, the Guillermo del Toro, and that's probably going to push more of the books out that way. And then you have was it the one of the other books from Interview with the Vampire that's also coming out to, I think, to AMC. To that point, I mean, my wife. That's all my wife does. She reads a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into reading.
I just bought, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 shelving units now, and I'm probably going into the 6th. I mean, I haven't even installed the one that's supposed to go behind me yet. You know, it's just, but yeah, no, I love a good book tale. But while he's looking for that, what did I have up here? Hold on 1 second. Let me just.
Yeah, here's mine.
Oh, hang on. Let me bring you forward. Hold on.
Necronomicon.
Yeah.
The best weird tales of H.P. Lovecraft.
Now I think.
This has got some good stuff in it.
I mean, I'm going to guess that it's got most of the stuff, but I don't think there's probably anything in that the book I got doesn't have.
Probably not.
Because this one's called The Complete Works. You know.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you and me got the complete works.
And it was only $18 at a local bookstore, and I'm like, well, hell, that's reasonable.
You know, the other place where you can get stuff for fairly inexpensive amounts of money is library sales. When they go to clear their shelves and they go sell off some of the older stuff that hasn't been circulating that much.
Yeah,
that's what my wife does.
There's a used bookstore chain that has a store in Knoxville and one in Chattanooga. I haven't been to the one in Chattanooga, but I've heard they're a little more reasonable there on their prices. But some of their stuff they're really proud of, especially like their D&D books. They're charging like $50 for D&D books that are probably not worth it. But
before we go any further, I just want to thank everyone out there, especially now on X, that we are now on X available. They're seeing us over there now, and of course on Rumble, and then of course of our YouTube viewers as well. Oh, I got to put the chat back up in there. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, you had it off for a little bit.
Yeah. Let me put it back.
All right, gents. So I got to bail. I got to get Mindy and tuck her in before I head over to Comics Division's channel.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Right.
And I got
coming up in half an hour. So
I got to run to the store real quick. Are you going to be on for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to be on for a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about the Disney's pulling more stuff off of YouTube.
Disney's off of YouTube. It's the carriage agreement.
The carriage agreement, but now they're pulling the movies.
But that's YouTube TV, not YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're pulling their movies now. And
it's Disney, it's ESPN, and it's all of it.
Yeah, because they just asked.
The channels are going away.
Yeah, they asked YouTube if they could be put back on just at ABC just for the elections, and YouTube said no.
No.
So now Disney is pulling. I just hang on. Let me put the article up.
All right, you do that. I gotta go. I will see you guys at some point.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, Jason, plug the show, Jason, before you go.
Tomorrow we will be interviewing H. Leighton Dixon about her new book, Ship of Spells, which I'm reading now, and I don't have it in front of me because it's upstairs on the table. So we're back in the studio tomorrow with this young lady here talking about her book. It's kind of right now. It strikes me as kind of being a Horatio Hornblower meets Pirates of the Caribbean. So should be interesting. We'll see.
That's interesting.
I'm just starting to get into it. So yeah, but we'll be talking to her tomorrow. So, and I'm going to try to get somebody on at some point to talk about. I think there's a Warner Brothers. I think Warner Brothers earnings call is Thursday, so we might be talking about that at some point. So.
What have we got? Any word yet on Skydance and all that?
On what?
Them competing with Netflix on.
No. There's nothing there. Although I do think that Netflix might be entertaining the idea of putting it a bid, but Ted Sarandos originally
either that or they're trying to drive up the price. They're trying to pull what Disney.
I think Zaslav's trying to drive up the stock price so he could split off and sell it off piecemeal. He's not going to sell the whole thing all one package. No. He's gonna break it apart.
I think
if he sells it.
Yeah, I think they are going to split the broadcast end and the production end. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so. I think broadcast and cable stuff. Broadcast and streaming, cable's probably going to go one way, and the production, the studio stuff's going to go someplace else.
Yeah,
we'll see. Anyway, all right. I will see you guys. Y'all come over to Comics Division's channel when you're done here.
All right, let me.
Don't leave yet. Thank you again, Jason, for coming.
Okay. Yep.
We'll
Bye.
see you.
Bye.
All right.
Good night.
I can't leave yet. I gotta go to the
Oh,
store before
someone's in trouble.
my wife goes to work.
Well, I got Snob here, so Snob can stay around for a bit, right?
I can.
Come back in when I get back. I just gotta. I got a time deadline. I got about 20
Jeez,
minutes or so.
Jeff's in trouble. He can't leave.
She's off tomorrow, but
Principal's office.
got to work tonight. So.
Oh, by the way, I got my Miss 45 in the mail today.
What?
If you haven't seen
What's that?
movie. You know the director Abel Ferreira? He did
personally.
Bad Lieutenant and King of New York.
Right.
Yeah. He did a movie years ago called Miss 45. And it's a sort of a female Death Wish.
Oh, yeah.
Version of Death Wish. It's about a mute woman who gets raped twice, not once, twice in the beginning of the movie. You know, she's out, she gets raped, she gets home, and there's another guy in her house, she gets raped again, and then she goes off half cocked with a 45 caliber and starts blowing away men left and right.
Is this set in New York in the 70s or 80s?
In the 70s? It's really the actress Zoe. I'm trying to remember Zoe something. She's really good in this. It is a cult classic. I mention it on my show constantly for the reason is that, you know, anyone who complains about except anime like Redo the Healer, where basically the character is getting revenge on people who basically sexually assaulted him and raped him and stuff like that. And he goes back in time and relives the whole situation again, but now he has control of it because he knows exactly where everything is. And people are like saying, "Oh no, that's porn and stuff like that." And I said, Hollywood has been writing this for years. Miss 45, I Spit on Your Grave. There was like a ton of these films in the 70s and 80s. You know, and you know, people said, "Oh no, it can't be," but it's there.
Yeah. All right, let me get, and I'll. If you guys are still on, maybe I'll jump back in.
Come back in when you get back.
All right, man.
All righty.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
See ya.
But wait, what the PB said? Went to the Museum of Moving Image last weekend. Saw the props and miniatures from Blade Runner, Aliens, Star. I didn't know it was at the Moving Image. Oh no. PB, is that still going on? Oh, he left already.
I think he took off.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
so you missed it.
Actually, technically, I'm in the Museum of Movie Image.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, from my public access days.
Oh, right.
Yeah, my public they had an entire exhibit on the public access industry, and a lot of the guys that I worked with and all that stuff that I worked in, and that was not even my production, because they didn't come to me and ask me for my stuff. Someone else was able to get my stuff up on there, but you know, I show up in there every once in a while, you know, in the background on some of the videotapes.
Right on.
But so in a way, I'm in a museum. I belong in a museum. Oh my God, what a week! What a beginning of the week this is. And considering we had floods here last week. Did you see this yet?
Floods?
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Bring this up. Yeah, look at that. That was Brooklyn.
Last week?
Yeah, remember we had the big rainstorms on the East Coast?
No, not really.
Yeah, we had some bad rain last week.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. The thing about it is, all that could have been avoided. How? Just to go in and clean the catch basins.
Oh, really? They didn't?
No, they haven't. for years, this has been going on, and they just basically they've sullied themselves, when it comes to this, and when elections come around, they're like, oh yeah, we'll take care of it, yeah, don't worry, and it never gets taken care of. I mean, the whole sewer lines, they need all to be changed to begin with. Now, some of them have already been worked in, like Staten Island. They've been doing them for years now. Others, it's just been here, there, everywhere. And then others, they haven't even been touched. That's why the MTA ones, that the subway ones, get flooded all the time. To that point. Oh man, I'm telling you. Oh, tomorrow Outland gets here on Blu-ray, on 4K.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, tomorrow. I can't wait.
It's gonna go up in the for a movie night.
Oh, you're putting it up for a movie night? Oh yeah,
it will. Yeah, it will. It's one of the ones on my list. It's definitely gonna be.
Yeah, for those of you out there that don't realize it, Mr. Snob here. I know not to call you Mr. Snob. He has a show called Top Lofty Lounge, Sunday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube.
You can call me Mr. if you like.
Now you want me to call you Mr. Snob.
No, I didn't say I wanted you to. You can if you like.
But he has a show, and what is it?
But
once
my
a month?
friends, if it's with for friends, you could just say Snob, right?
Yeah. So it's once a month.
We're on a much more, we're on a first name basis, so to speak. So I think it's perfectly acceptable.
And what is it? Once a month you do the movie night?
Yeah, I do about once every 4 weeks, roughly. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next one that's coming up?
Well, it's between I'm putting it up on the Discord for vote. It's between Damnation Alley and Planet of the Apes, the original Charlton Heston, and I kind of knew which way it would go, and that's the way it's going. Planet of the Apes.
It's going Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you out there who don't know what Damnation Alley is, it stars George Papar, Paul Winfield, and oh God, what's his name from Airwolf?
Jan Michael Vincent.
Yeah, it's about an apocalyptic world. They've dropped the bomb, and
they're driving across America in like a souped up armored personnel, like 8-wheeled sort of thing. I mean, it's a classic.
It's a classic. Yeah, that was used on the Saturday morning live action series called Ark. Yeah.
It's just I thought maybe it would. I thought maybe that it'd be good to put up with, like, it might do okay against.
Well, I guess they won't talk about the mutated cannibalistic cockroaches that are in the movie.
Yeah, I thought maybe it would do well. Okay, Planet of the Apes. Maybe it would do. People would go, hey, that's a classic. But no, we cannot.
Wait, it's going toward Damnation Alley?
What's that, sorry?
It's going to Damnation Alley?
No. What? I didn't catch.
No. I'm saying you've already started the voting.
Yeah, the voting. Yeah, the voting started like last week.
So where are we at? The Planet of the Apes is up on top, or Damnation?
Yeah. Everyone's voting for Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
So far. I mean, it's not.
I was right to say that the mutated cockroaches that eat flesh. Come on, folks. You don't want to see that.
I thought it would have a chance, but
because that is the most. That's the most grotesque scene.
Is a classic, but you just a hint. If it, I don't know who's watching, but Damnation Alley will come up again some other time. Like I'm not getting rid of it. These are all movies that some of them are movies that I want to see. So I'm gonna put them back up there eventually.
You know what you have to do? Here's one you can give, and technically you're gonna get the same. You're gonna get the same movie. Technically, you're gonna get the same movie. Gonna run anyway. Put up Battle Beyond the Stars versus Star Raiders.
Star Rangers.
Star Raiders.
Star Raiders.
Both.
I've got Battle Beyond the Stars up there.
You should be able to do Star Raiders. I think Star Raiders is also on Tubi. It's both by Roger Corman. But here's the gimmick. Both movies use the same space effects. the same
Oh.
spaceships, the same explosions, the same battle scenes. And they're two different plotted movies.
Well, Corman, I mean,
No, it's just literally, I mean, when you see it, you're like,
Yeah,
wait a
for
minute,
money.
didn't I see that in another movie?
yeah.
It's like if you're watching Battlestar Galactica in the 1970s Battlestar Galactica, and you're watching from one episode to the next. It says, "Didn't I see that freaking Cylon ship hit the side of the Galactica last week?"
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's what this is. It's just literally there's an entire battle scene at the end that it is every ship that is in Battle Beyond the Stars. They took all the attack scenes from Battle Beyond the Stars and shoved it into Star Raiders.
Oh yeah.
And I was laughing when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, it's Battle, and I love Battle Beyond the Stars. You know,
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to.
It's the Magnificent Seven in space.
Yeah, I haven't. Some of these I'm like, oh, I gotta watch them, but waiting to see it for.
Or in the original way, it's the Seventh Samurai, because that's where the Magnificent Seven came from. The original story was in a Kurosawa movie called The Seven Samurai, which is a fantastic movie. It's a long ass movie, but it's like, if you bought it originally, because I had it on VHS originally. It's two cassettes long. Considering it's like if you watch the Yul Brynner version, it's like about less than 2 hours. I think it's less than 2 hours. That movie. And then the Seven Samurai is like 3 hours, like bordering 3 hours. Such a great film that is. And what else was coming out? There was, they just announced Day of the Dead is getting a 4K remaster.
Oh really?
Yeah. Plus, I'm getting my wife Dawn of the Dead, the second version, the newer one.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting. Yeah, company is putting out several movies. Dawn of the Dead. What is it? Sword and the Sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a couple of others that were in there. Black Christmas. The original Black Christmas. On that, if you've never seen Black, no, you don't. You're not a horror fan. I know that you're not.
I'm not a big horror fan.
Okay.
I mean, I do watch some horror, but it's too scary.
Oh, this is technically from one aspect. This is like the origins of some of the slasher flicks that are that went into the 70s and 80s on there. Hang on, let me just. 1974 stars Olivia Hussey, Margot Kidder, John Saxon. Andrea Martin is in this one too.
Andrea Martin.
Yeah. It was a Canadian slasher flick from York.
Oh yeah. My peeps.
From your peeps. But it was really good, because what it is that from an aspect you've never seen the killer in the entire movie.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you see like glimpses and eye here there through the entire movie. It's just, sorry to ruin it for people out there. You never see the killer, even at the end. There's no reveal at the end of the movie. So it still ends up to be a mystery at the end. And they made no sequel. They remade this movie twice, and they still haven't hit gold on this one.
Interesting.
So it's like it's an original classic. When they said they were going to do a 4K, I said, "Oh, I got to get this in 4K." It's gonna look gorgeous in 4K. If they do it right, it's gonna look gorgeous in 4K. Because this is like, it's really dark. It's a dark thing. I mean, technically, from the aspect that it is that people are disappearing. and like, can we find them? This whole situation,
Right.
where did they go? And the thing is that the killer is in the house, and it's supposedly like it's a sorority house. So you have all these girls living there and everything like that, and the sorority mom and all that. And meanwhile, the killer is inside the house through the whole movie.
Yeah, it's got to be a sorority.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's not like 1980 sorority. It's just like literally, it's just a bunch of girls. Some of them drink and all that. Like Margot Kidder is like an alcoholic in this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a heavy drinker in this one. It is just like, it's really crazy. Let me see if I can. What else was I looking for here? Hold on. It's something else to put up. Did I lose it? Oh God, I lost it. I had a good story. Oh well. But yeah, what else was coming out? Let me see. Let me take a look here. One moment.
Have you heard anything about Pierce Brosnan coming back as James Bond?
Yeah, if you want to believe that.
Like he's like an older Bond. It looks like that.
And I sent this over on in the chat on Jason's channel. I said, you know what they need to do? They need to go back and basically just go back to the Cold War. Find a young guy who looks like James Bond, Sean Connery or Roger Moore type look, type on there, and go back to the Cold War.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at which one was the where he's going against Smersh, the Russians.
No, Smersh is the comedy one. You're talking about Spectre.
No, Spectre's a non-governmental. It's a Smersh is the Russian. Is a Russian.
Oh, the Russian. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. That's Smersh. No, because they use that in the comedy Casino Royale.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it was one of the original. Oh, you know what? I'll just Google here. I'm sure I'll see it as soon as I see it. From Russia with Love? No.
I was just watching that last night.
Yeah, From Russia with Love, of course. 1963, after Dr. No. He fights the Russians.
Yeah, he fights the Russians in that, which is one of the best one. I think it's one of the best ones.
I agree. It's very good. It's it's
no tech.
Very grounded.
No,
I agree with you. I think you could do a 60s, 70s, 80s, stay in the Cold War. You could do that. Now you could do a modern one too, and you just have to be, you have to be
with today's Hollywood. No, you can't do it with today's.
Well, no,
Hollywood.
but they can't. Well, that's Hollywood can't do anything. But you could do a modern one, and I think the Casino Royale, the new version wasn't too bad. I like the the Daniel Craig, the first movie. I thought it was a fairly well modern version of Bond can go after. He doesn't have to go after spies. He can go after terrorists and non-national actors and stuff like that. But it does get a little bit. It can get sloppy if you don't. You have people who want to rule the world by taking over the media. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, that was, you could put that into the perspective. I mean, there have been others stories like that throughout.
Yeah, it was done, poorly in my
I know
view.
that was done probably for that on there, but no,
That's a very but it can be done if you do a good job at it.
because the most underrated movie recently is Henry Cavill's The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
You think so?
I think so,
It
and the
was pretty
reason
good.
is they didn't go with a modern day adaptation. They went with a future tech.
Yeah.
They sat there and said, no, we're not going to do 2000s Man from U.N.C.L.E. We're going to do 1960s Man from U.N.C.L.E. The music, the look, the smell, everything was right on point. When it came down to it, and that's what's needed in these spy movies. You got to go back to the Cold War.
Part of the Bond thing though is to have gadgets, and
exactly.
They don't have to be. It would be hard, if you're doing a 60s one, you're going to do the shoe foam people, or whatever people are going to.
Yeah,
I don't know. It could be done.
Yeah, because what the problem is with like Call of Duty, the video game. It's like you have Call of Duty coming out, number 7 coming out, and one thing I hate about the newer Call of Duties is 6 was okay, 7 and I forgot what the other 2 were. They went with future tech. You're climbing on walls and so I don't want that. I want a regular standard sniper rifle, or submachine gun, or something like a AK-47 or something like that. Going around in the video game. That's what I want to see. Storyline, same thing. But it's like you see these guys that says, "Oh, we got to use the future tech." I don't want future tech. I like old school.
I'm more of a. I always preferred Battlefield. I found it more grounded.
Oh yeah, same thing. That's what I love about Battlefield. Battlefield is grounded, and it just doesn't. It doesn't go insane like what Call of Duty does. Right now, they still have the Halloween. Call of Duty 6 right now has the Halloween stuff still up.
Yeah.
And we're on the third. You got guys still dressing up like the Predator and Terminator and Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, I always preferred Battlefield. It was more grounded.
Did you ever see the video of the guy? There's a elderly gentleman, and he used to be a sniper in the military.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I love when he plays
going around shooting people.
He's sitting there going like, "I got you, I got you." And he's like, he got 3 guys in a row, and he's laughing.
Yeah, and he's just, yeah. I don't know that. I think he's just good at the game. I don't deny that he was a sniper, but I don't know how that.
Oh no, they haven't listed. I think somebody interviewed him, and he said, "Yeah, I used to be in the military. I used to be in the U.S. Army. Did this war, that war, and I was a sniper. I was a trained sniper." And
I don't think that's going to help him that much. I think he's just good at the game, right?
He's good at the game, but there is the one thing that I love the that's the reason why I love the Battlefield is basically the way when you're shooting, like especially when you're doing a sniper rifle, you got to get the wind right.
Yeah.
Or you're not getting the guy on the other end. You got to figure out, the shot when you get the shot off. I mean, it's easier to get a shot off on Call of Duty than it is on Battlefield.
Yeah.
I find that is a major difference between the two. But who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of games? Because I haven't played games in a while. Like just only in the last couple of months, I just started back on COD.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't played in like 2 years. My Xbox is still sitting in the box. So I haven't even taken it out of its box. I'm using a PC. I'm using the PC cloud to play on.
Mm-hmm.
Onto there. But those of you who are watching, if you haven't yet, hit that like, share the video, subscribe if you haven't yet. Really do appreciate it. Once again, if you're just joining us over on X and on Rumble, welcome. Now we're doing the three-way. So we're on three different sites now. Putting all my eggs in more than one basket on there. Seems like we're doing pretty good on X.
That's good.
I have to look at the analytics on that.
Tell me how it goes. Maybe I'll start doing it too.
Yeah, because it's you got to pull in people, and the thing about it is that remember we were talking about the situation that Clownfish TV and a couple others were talking about. They're going to start going after the gamers first.
The gamers first?
Yeah, they're going. Well, they said they're going to start banning any of the really violent video games, and this is just ahead of Battlefield's release.
Really?
You got Battlefield coming out, and you got Call of Duty 7 coming out. And that's going to end up pushing. And somebody was saying that's going to end up pushing the manufacturers to not allowing people to stream the games.
Yeah,
because you already know how Nintendo's position on this straight through. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. And sometimes depending on how long the game has been out, they'll flag somebody. Just if the game had just come out that date, they'll flag somebody for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a freedom guy. Let people do what they want.
Exactly.
More freedom is usually better.
Well, they like to cause trouble. Some of these groups, and some of the companies that are behind this are still around today.
Yeah,
Warner was one of the big problems back in my day. When it was Time Warner, and our people I know went to court with them because they were trying to censor their shows. Yes, it's adult nature. Yes, there's nudity in it. Yes, there's talk of sex in it. Yes, but it's on very late at night after 10 p.m. This was back in the 80s and early 90s where kids were asleep anyway at that time period.
Yeah.
So, you can't say, well, kids are able to watch it. No, kids weren't watching it. Especially certain shows, you had the gay cable network, which was in the 1980s, was a big service because of the AIDS crisis.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Time Warner was trying to censor them. They were trying to force people that says, well, if you want to watch this show, sign this card that states you want, this channel unscrambled from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The judge was laughing at this. He says, he goes, I got a card like this in the mail. And I was wondering why I was getting it in the mail, the judge says. And it's, in fact, I'm trying to get one of the plaintiffs on here. She's a friend of mine. And I'm trying to get in touch with her. She hasn't responded back to me. I got to try another way. She probably does. Because I know she's on Facebook. She's on Twitter. Instagram. I got to try Instagram next. If not, I'm going to have to dig down and make some phone calls to some people I know, see if they'll be able to direct me back to her. Because I know she's on Fire Island. She's living on Fire Island these days. She's semi-retired. She used to be big back in her day. She was a big porn star back in the day. She the infamous. She was in Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of porn. I think it's it's not good, but I still would rather err on the side of freedom. Just because I don't think something is good, people should not do it, doesn't mean that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It can't be
out
there.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff.
It shouldn't be easy. We still have to protect children and everything like that. But
of course. I worked in the industry. My early jobs was working in the industry for a dub editing house that worked with the industry. We worked with VXL and what's her name, Fem Productions, and a couple of others. And half our production in the company we were doing porn. The other half we were doing horror films, classic films, and martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
You had HBO on one end of the floor with their movies, and then we had VX, video. I can't remember this. VXL was on the other side of the floor with their films. And and the thing about it is that like anime, like manga, like regular films and all that, there are different levels of the porn industry. I mean, I said in one of my other shows that they're releasing Behind the Green Door, Marilyn Chambers, which is a cult classic. Why is it a cult classic? Because not that it has sex in it. It is the guys who did it in an artistic way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a piece of artwork. Because of the way the way it was shot, the shadows, the lighting, the background, everything was done very artistic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah. Besides that, it has sex in it. It's basically it's a masterpiece in itself. People don't they immediately put to the perspective that everything is wham bam thank you ma'am. There are a bunch of them out there. I mean, that's how the gay industry survived from the 1970s into the 80s into the 90s, because basically they were not allowed in theaters. So what did they have to do? They had to go back and try to be artistic in their movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's how it was put together. There was a whole slew of films which the cops showed up at the door. They're like, watching porn in here, and he goes, no, 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 look, take a look at the screen. Yeah, there's the naked man and all that, but no, look how the way it's done.
It's a real movie.
It's a real movie. Yeah, it's a real movie. Yeah, that's why we get stuff for Skinamax. If you know what the term Skinamax is.
Yeah.
That's how we got that. I was working for a company in Florida that we were doing tons of stuff that was like for Cinemax. Movies you would just see there.
Yeah.
And then the boss found out, and he happened to be like a Baptist priest Christian. And he says, "Oh, we got to stop doing this. We can't have this here." I said, "Why? It's making us money."
He didn't want to do it, eh?
No, he didn't. I mean, and this came from a guy. Okay, the company that I worked with down south, they did hunting videos. They worked with Realtree Outdoors, Buckmasters, stuff that you see on ESPN,
Mm-hmm.
and we would mass produce on there. And we also did Tybo when Billy Blank's Tybo came out for the first time. We were one of the production houses that were involved of mass producing it, and that was a nightmare in itself. Oh my God, we had 3 factories running 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Mass producing it in every way possible, and packaging alone was insane, because it was like, people don't understand. When in the industry, when you had some of the VHSs back then, and you were doing the package work, especially like the exercise stuff, which came in either 1-pack, 2-pack, or 3-packs. You had to make sure everything went in the right packs.
Right.
And that was insane in itself. Because you would have an order for like 2 million of the single, and then 2 million of the double, and 3 million of the triple packs.
Oh man.
Yeah, like I said, we ran 3 factories 24/7 just to get it out on time.
A couple million. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not. Well, see, you have to remember, and I've said this on this program. Sony used to have the run of the industry, and they used to have a machine called Mirror Mother. What the mirror mother is a high speed duplication device
Mm-hmm.
that basically first you make the copy and the master copy. You would take whatever format you take it from, and you run it through the machine through the mirror mother recorder.
Right.
The mirror mother recorder makes a mirror image. In other words, when you play it back, it's in reverse. In other words, like when you look in a
Mhm.
mirror, everything's in reverse. Yeah, that's literally
Yeah.
this movie. The movie is in reverse. You take that and you bring it into the clean room, and there's a machine in the clean room that takes it and reverses back, but it does it at a high speed. On the other half of that machine is a roll of raw VHS. In other
Right.
words, VHS that's not in the cassette yet,
And it copies to that.
and it copies into the entire roll. In other words, it makes as many copies. Say it's a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
One reel will put out anywhere between 50 to 60, 70, how long the reel is, copies of it. And then what they do is they take the reel out, take it to the other side of the clean room to the loader machine. The loader machine takes the reel, loads it into a cassette, and there's a signal that is put in there every time the movie ends. The mirror mother copies gives it a signal that sends it to the other machine, tells the machine where to cut it,
Yeah.
and it puts it in there. And it's really it's interesting when you saw this back then.
Yeah.
It is so fast. The best part about this is every batch that comes out, all you have to do is test one.
Oh, really?
If that one cassette is good, the entire lot is perfect.
Should be good. Yeah.
Unless something creeps in as far as an error, but that would be the machine itself that loads it would show that error.
Yeah.
And basically, you eliminate the quality controllers, because that's how I got hired first. When I came out of trade school, my first official job was working for this company on Varick Street, and I was hired as a quality control. And I would sit there, because they were just introducing the mirror mother at that point, and I would sit there with several other people, and we would take, we would have like 6 to 8 VHS decks, and we would pop the tapes in, and we have like a little
Just watch
switch,
'em.
yeah, and watch a little, like watch them, fast forward, watch them, fast forward, beginning, middle, and end. If that's okay, pop them out, put them to the side. They take it to packaging. Packaging takes it from there. And we did everything. We did porn. We did martial arts. We did everything on it. I mean, I saw some crazy
That
stuff.
sounds like a
crazy
horrible
stuff.
job, man. Watching pieces of movies all day, the same movie all day. Fast forwarding.
Yeah. Well, no, they rotate you so you don't go crazy. But we had a big job. There used to be a company. What were they called? The United Surgeons of America. It's no longer. It's been defunct because they basically, I think it was like semi-pyramid scheme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that this was like, I guess, a bunch of doctors got together and created this whole program with food, energy bars, energy drinks, and stuff like that. And they filmed like a sort of commercial event, which they talked about the stuff. They gave awards to the doctors and stuff like that. And it was hosted by William Shatner.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It was hosted by William Shatner. They had other celebrities and stuff like people in the sports industry, people in the actors, actresses, stuff like that. And I'll tell you, the first day and my first day was working there was doing this job, United Surgeons. I must have QC'd about a good 1,000 tapes. I went home, put my head on the pillow. I was tired. All I could hear was Shatner and the music from the background. in my head. And I kept waking up like, oh God, it's not. It's in my head. I ain't gonna get rid of it. It was like Shatner over the top Shatner,
Yeah.
like Crane Shatner, before there was ever a Danny Crane. It was Shatner, Danny Crane. It was like, how we doing? I'm Danny Crane. You know that.
Yeah, he was doing his thing.
And it was just insane. And just listening to this over and over for about a month. You know, and then it's just like, oh God. And then finally they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna move you over to the other room. You're gonna work on Saturn Productions. And I knew Saturn Productions already before I even got there. And they said, these guys do Saturn Productions. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Saturn Productions back then was company that dealt with martial art movies. The old Hong Kong flicks, Jackie Chan and all those flicks and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go watch some Hong Kong movies now.
I would go for that. That would be
then
fun.
they gave me over to Crown. Then they gave me over to Crown Classics. I was like, Crown Classics was like all the old movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I don't know how many times I've saw The Third Man, It's a Wonderful Life, Scarlet Street. You know, some of those old classics, the ones you see in the bargain bin.
You might get bored of that after a while.
Oh, you have no idea, because when they promoted me to, because they knew my experience already. Because I already had worked a couple of years in broadcasting, so they knew that they could promote me like almost immediately. So they promoted me to video tech, to do editing, to do the main duplication jobs and stuff like that. But I was on the overnight shift, and basically, you know, it's, you know, the insanity that you have to do just to do that work. It's not fun at all. It's not fun at all. You know, all day, all night, especially when you have 3 versions of It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah.
You know, you because what it is, you have a book. They bring out a book and they tell you the jobs that are in the book. So you're flipping open, and you're like, oh God, we're doing It's a Wonderful Life tonight. Which version? Version 2. Oh God, that's the longest.
The worst version.
Yeah, and the thing is, we used what is it called? 3/4 U-matic tape. I don't know if you're familiar with that. 3/4 U-matic is broadcast quality tape back then.
Yeah, no, not really, but you know.
Yeah, because the way they loaded the movies back in the early days of the VHS era, you either were using 1-inch reels, or 3/4 inch U-matic, or you were using the early days of Betacam on itself, not Betamax, but Betacam, which is broadcast quality. And the thing is that with 3/4 U-matic, the max you can squeeze on one tape is about 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So now here you got a movie that's 2.5 hours long. So what do? Someone created a box, a junction box, and what it does is you hook up 2 3/4 U-matic video decks, and what you do is you pop video 1, video 2, 3 is left off to the side when video 1 pops out. And what it is that we imprint a signal. We go to the editing room and we imprint a signal in the 3/4 master, and that signal sends the signal into the box to activate deck 2. So you have a movie, because if you ever see like a really bad bargain bin movie and it has a jump cut in it, a really bad jump cut.
Not that I remember ever seeing one, but I mean, I understand. You know, they cut it bad, right?
Yeah. In other words, it jumps to the next scene like real badly, and it just and this is basically what it does. It just jumps. If you don't have it set right, and you have to pay attention, because what we have is we have a bell that rings about 5 or 10 minutes prior to the switchover, so you can put the next tape in. So you get the bell ring. You look up at the monitor, and it's like bing, and she worked. You go, it's like you put it in. If it doesn't work, it's like, oh god, we got to start over. You know, and the thing about it is also, like the Crown Company, it didn't matter too much with Crown.
Mm-hmm.
It was HBO Hemdale at the time. It was Greendale Hemdale Productions, which was a division of HBO. You had to make sure it worked. You know, from deck 1 to deck 2, because you had movies like FX with Brian Dennehy. You had Return of the Living Dead. You had some like top notch movies
Right.
at that time period. You know, some of them were low budget, some of them were high budgeted, and basically, you know, you had to make sure that the quality was good. You know, when going from 3/4 deck 1 to 3/4 deck 2, so you spent extra time to make sure it was getting done right. But then at the same time, we were still testing the Mirror Mother system.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I left the company, they were well into doing that. They had laid off most of the staff. You only need 2 to 3 people in the clean room, and you don't even need them. You don't need anybody in quality control. So you just let go 20 people from quality control. 20 to 25 people. So, and then of course, I was like one of the last to leave, and because they started saying, oh, we only need editors. We don't need anybody, if we're going to use somebody to do any VHS recordings, we only need one guy to do it.
Yeah.
1 or 2 guys. I happened to be the low man on the totem pole because I was newer, so they let me go. So that's what, that was my days in the porn industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I met a lot of people there too. Because I met Candina Royale, God rest her soul, at the time when she created, the women's only company.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the one thing, one thing they always say, that they say, porn is made by disgusting men. And the original stuff was by men, and some of them were mafia and all that. But then Candina came in and changed the whole thing. Candina, basically, she created her own company called Femme Productions, which just got bought out by, what is it, Vinegar Syndrome, I think, just bought it. And it was these movies were done more of a romantic type. This wasn't like, I bought the pizza, how are you going to pay for it? It wasn't like that. This was like, oh my God, he's so, he's such a nice guy. I like, maybe we can hang together, have dinner and stuff like that. That kind
It sounds like pornography from a female perspective.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, that was incorporated a little bit in the HBO series The Deuce. When because the one of the characters in there was a reinterpretation of Candina Royale.
Mm-hmm.
So basically Candina, like I said, she was a real nice person, and they did very well with her tapes. They sold like crazy because a good chunk of this industry is women. People don't believe that. They think it's like guys in raincoats.
Yeah, I find, it doesn't seem like, but who knows? I don't know.
It seems like it is. It seems like it's an old guy situation. No, it's not. It's a big mix.
Well, I mean, usually the visual pornography is bought by men, and then women are buying romance novels, which is just their version of pornography. Because
no, actually, they're buying the video.
I mean, I would know.
Yeah, heavily.
I guess.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I've worked in other companies on there, and You know, I've been working in a couple video stores, and you know, you see the girls go downstairs quietly, and they come back up with with the stuff under the coat, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to take these."
Are they getting it for themselves though, or are they buying it for their boyfriend or?
They're no. They're renting it for
Oh, really?
themselves. Yeah, no, it's there've been articles written on this. There've been many articles written on this that people don't realize is that some of this industry is run by women.
Oh yeah. I know that. Usually there's a woman on set.
You know that. No. I'm saying as far as consumer wise, it's you know, a lot of it's run by women, and it's the women that are buying. The women that are buying, they're renting. You know, it's in that category. You know, some of them are straight, some of them are gay. You know, it varies from, you know, territory to territory. And, you know, it's the same thing with anime. When you look at anime and manga, the hentai, the ecchis and stuff like that, a lot of the heavy ecchi stuff, like We Do the Healer, it was most popular with women. It was criticized as saying, "Oh, look at this disgusting guys are watching this," and it says, "Good 55% of the viewers were women." You know, women loved certain categories in the anime industry, especially a lot of the yaoi and yuri stuff, which is like those. That's what you would call the gay stuff in Japanese anime.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that it's exclusively women. You know, it kind of shocks you, but when you see it in front of you, it's like, wow. And then, of course, I worked in a store in a neighborhood in Central Park, near Central Park. It was all celebrity.
Really?
All celebrity. Yeah. And one particular actor who was very famous and well known wanted a particular porn movie. And it was like what was it? Rambone the Destroyer. The name of it was. And I'm sitting there like, and I look at my boss, and he says, "I'll take care of it." And this particular actor was in a TV show, which was a major sitcom back in the day. His initials are FU, if you get what I mean.
No.
And he was a photographer, and his roommate was a sportscaster, and they both wives kicked them out.
Is this Felix Unger?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, that was a pretty big show.
I was shocked. Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, but this was like I was working for this store in the late '80s. And he came in and asked, and he says, "Oh no, we'll take care of it. We'll go get it for you." Ran down, got it. My boss got it, brought it up. We, rented it out too. You know, and you get that every once in a while. You know, you always have the celebrity come in and rent out certain things. You know, I think one of my best days was McEnroe came in with Tatum O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you know McEnroe. He's like, you see him on the field. He's a piece of shit. You know, and he's a real angry guy and all that. You meet the guy. The guy's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, I think he was. He's not. I heard he's not such a bad guy. Like he's a jerk on that.
No, he's not such a bad guy. His wife, on the other hand, she was such a jerk. Because what they came in at closing. So they're like, "Oh, can we get And my boss is like, "Hey, look at this. It's McEnroe and Tatum O'Neal. Let them go to the store. We can wait a little bit longer. We were going to the bar across the street to have drinks anyway." Yeah. So we go out in, and McEnroe goes like, "Hey, can I buy a candy bar?" Because we sold popcorn, candy, ice cream, and McEnroe, "Can I get a candy bar?" That. I said, "How much I owe you?" I said, No, it's on us. And Tatum's taking her time looking for movies. Half dark store, and she's like looking for movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, honey, they let us in, and he's like being nice, and she's like, I gotta find the right movie.
Yeah.
He's like, they were kind enough to let it in. They have to go somewhere tonight.
Yeah, don't take too long. But she's
don't take.
But she's like not worrying about it.
No, it's it's funny. It's the little things that we went through when I worked in that store. It was funny. I met so many celebrities. Christopher Reeve was another one. Trying to remember the guy's name from the group Styx. Tommy Shaw. Tommy Shaw used to come in all the time, and this was at the time when him and Nugent got together and they created their own band.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Miller used to come in. Dennis Miller used to throw us the jokes he was going to try to use on when he did the news.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He used to throw these jokes, try it out on us and see we were on there. The one I always remember, and I always tell people, is the one where, I'm trying to remember, did he use it? He didn't use it. I'm trying to remember on that. But it was like sad news from the cartoon world. Father of 2 children, left a wife. George Jetson died today. A spokesman for the Jetson family had this to say: rough, very rough. Poor George.
Oh, man.
But there were like other jokes that were really good. And he was like, yeah, use that one. Because we had some of the cast of Saturday Night. Because one thing is, when was it? Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. It's like Friday, day before show, we would have, because they would do a initial rehearsal on Friday, early in the day, and then they go out to rest and all that. They would be pouring into the store, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Leary, Miller, all of them from that time period. They would all come in renting videos.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, it's going to be a big show this week." I said, "Yeah, we got this one. Oh, we're going to watch." My boss got to go to taping.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he got to go. And I said, "Oh, you son of a bitch. You didn't want to take me with you?" Then I had to take the wife. Yeah, he got tickets to go. It was like, oh, man. He was like, I didn't go. Damn. But I got they kind of made up to me on that one. They got me tickets because we had a couple of CBS executives. I got to see a couple of great concerts.
Yeah.
I got to see Paul McCartney at Giant Stadium. What was the other two? I'm trying to remember the other two. Oh, Rolling Stones, Steel Wheels.
Oh, yeah.
See, 18th row on the deck. I could run up to the front of the stage to freaking shake all their hands. That was such a great concert on there. But McCarthy was better because I had gotten a bunch of them, and a production friend of mine's, her mom, when she was younger, wanted to go see the Beatles. This was at the time when the Beatles was supposed to be on what's his name show back in the day, and she got into a car accident, and she had tickets to see it, on the live show, and she never made it. So her daughter worked with me. She was part of my production staff. And she told me the story, so I went out, got tickets for it, and I took the mom. She cried through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because she was a kid when McCartney. Now she's like has a daughter, married, and all that. She's semi-retired, and we took her to see the concert.
Yeah,
and it was a great concert because basically it rained. Because I hired a limo, It rained as we were going to Jersey. And basically, we get to Jersey, concert starts, it's still sprinkling rain. And basically, it stops raining and the clouds open up and the sky just like beautiful sky for the evening. And the rest of the night, the concert was excellent.
Hmm.
You know, it turned into there. Well, it's 10:35.
Yeah, I think it's time for me to.
I think it's time for me to cut this feed because I don't think Jeff's going to make it back on time. So, why don't you give a promo? Or is it? This is Monday. Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Monday, yeah. Well, Wednesday is our Babylon 5 show. We are almost at the end of season 2, so 2 more episodes to go before we get into season 3. It's getting a little hot and heavy.
The Inquisitor is this week, right?
The Inquisitor, yeah. Is that the episode is called The Inquisitor? I think.
Comes the Inquisitor.
It's about the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Comes the Inquisitor is the name of the episode.
Yeah.
It's about an Inquisitor who comes and sent by Kosh to check on Delin and make sure that she's good to go for some reason. Why does he do it? We'll have to find out. Wait.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Jakar is going through something similar.
He's got a little.
He's got a little bit of Citizen Jakar.
Citizen Jakar is he's working at going back to his old days in the rebellion, I think, so to speak.
Yep, on that. So that's Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. You're not on Rumble, right?
I am, but we don't really get much over there.
Well, we'll say you're on Rumble, so we'll say
I'm on Rumble too.
So we'll say you're on Rumble. For those who are on X right now, watching on X, still on there. And then, of course, you got Top Lofty Lounge on Sunday.
Yes. Yep, our main show. That we do, which we always do something about science fiction on that show every Sunday at 10 Central as well, same time. We always do something there, and we talk about some sort of science fiction related topic. Just yesterday, it was yesterday, we talked about the most underrated sci-fi movies. Both Cam and I had our picks, and we discussed them. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we do. Relaxed. Lots of discussion with the chat.
Well, there we go. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's 11 p.m. Eastern Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern on Sunday on Sci-Fi Snobs channel.
Same time.
We try to put the link in our site so you'll be able to jump on over. So if you're if those of you who are watching on X right now, we do post it on this site, and those of you who are watching on Rumble or YouTube, we try to post it on our social media platform, so you'll be able to just click on over and watch the excitement, and you get to meet Cam.
Yes.
Cam said he had a meeting.
Crime.
Yeah, he texted me. He said he had a meeting tonight. He wasn't able
he had something going on. He's got some stuff going on this week. Family stuff, he said. I said, "Well, what kind of stuff?" He goes, "Family stuff." I'm like, "Family stuff." Oh, that's interesting.
That's our Cam.
He wouldn't give me any more than that. That's all.
I don't blame him. It's I know there are a lot of people here on social media platforms that they don't want to give too much away. Which is understandable.
Yeah, he plays his cards close to his chest.
Yeah, he plays it very close. So those of you out there watching, we're going to wrap it up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, like, share. Also, don't forget that. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick right now. Where are we here? Still learning this thing. Image. There we go. And we do have a merch shop. There we go. And there we go. If you haven't seen this yet, we have a 10% off going on right now. Promo code VPN10 at shopcuticast.com. This sale will be running. It's been extended. It's straight through to the 21st, right before Thanksgiving on there. Of course, yeah, we'll have our regular Thanksgiving sales coming up as well. But some of these shirts may not be in stock at that time period. So take this moment, grab them now, because we've got some great shirts. The anime speak shirts, censorship shirts on there. We got them in mug form as well. And then, of course, the little logo in the corner of the screen up on top there, the Madman Cafe, we have those as well in shirt format.
Right on. It looks like a nice shirt.
It is. They're really nice.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. There we go. And yeah, and also for those of you who basically just want to throw a couple of cents in, a couple of bucks in there for a cup of coffee on there, there's a PayPal listing below there as well. So this week, for those of you who are wondering, what are we doing for this week? We're a little short this week on videos, but no Fred, we're working on some other ones at the moment. But we got 2 Paramount videos running this week. We got the Paramount moving to New Jersey, which we mentioned earlier on this show, that they joining up with the 1888 studio deal on that. And Yellowstone's creator, Taylor Sheridan, is going to be leaving Paramount in 2029 over to NBC Universal on a $1 billion contract. Yeah, man, that's big. For him to leave Paramount, where he started, and they gave him his start. He's going to work for Universal, NBC Universal on there. And then we have 2 little shorts on there that are from our Taco Thursday from last week. We separated and put on there. That's the next 2 days on there. In fact, the latter one on Wednesday will link you back, direct you to Snob's channel. It'll direct you onto the Babylon 5 retrospective. So if you're watching that last one, which is the anime running the U.S. box office, stay tuned, stay on there. It's going to switch you over to the episode for that night at 11 p.m., which I will be there too as well. I will be on the panelist or council, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, panelist.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're going to end it right here. We did have some fun. We got some great conversations in. We're going to try to do this Mondays on the Madman Cafe. I think it's going to be easy on us for that because I tried it around back and forth Thursdays, Saturdays, and all that. I think Monday's the easiest day to do the live streams. So until next Monday, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.